Begin on an explosive nuke as our first map of the series, and one in which MIBR would wrap it up 16-10. They'll be one up going to Inferno, but of course we've got to break down exactly how this win happened for the Brazilians, and joining me to do so is lovely Alan and Maui. Alan, there was one name that was on our lips throughout the entirety of that map. KNG, KNG, KNG. And I've got to give you some credit because you said before we came on the desk, you are looking at him as one of the top players at this tournament, and he definitely proved why in that match.
Oh yeah, certainly. Going into this series, I did think KNG is the best player right here at this tournament. We saw it in this map, and we saw it in the group stage, particularly that final match against Big in the group stage. He was incredible, and I think he was actually dominating C.R.A.E in that matchup. In this game, 33 frags, destroying the OG squad. On the CT side, he was all over the place, opening up the rounds, disrupting so many of their set plays. So KNG was the man of the hour. He destroyed OG here.
He did indeed. And I know you were saying in the green room, Maui, you've been continually impressed with how we've seen MIBR evolving on the CT side of Nuke. So where were your kind of focus points coming into this one?
What we're seeing from MIBR is not just the same plays they brought to Blast a month ago, where they took a map off of Strauss, took a map off G2. They're slowly evolving. They're actually learning some of the counters to the strats that they've run and how to actually counter the counter, or how to even prevent the counter. It's really refreshing because you can see that they're not just resting on the laurels in terms of what they did in their initial boot camp. They're actually progressing every single time they play. This team is getting better and better. It is so fun to watch.
It is incredibly impressive to watch. And I think one of the themes that we had coming into this particular map was the economy. That was definitely one of the names of the games coming into Nuke. And I know, Alan, you had a particular round that you wanted to break down to kind of exemplify that.
Oh yeah, at the start of this game, so OG won the pistol round. From there, 4 force by wins in a row for either team. And this was the final force by win coming into this one. See, KNG gets himself out towards outer. He lurks into mini here. There's a really great frag onto East top hut. Next up, he's going to be playing around the edge of this smoke in the green room. We were actually wondering how he found this frag, but seeing it on board is a bit more obvious. Really great one there, and he lurks all the way into hell and gets the final kill onto Pallate, winning this round. And this was a real turning point in this game. In any sort of situation like this, where you're trading force buys, super T-sided, and because the Ts can just buy for so much less, they broke OG's money, forced them into having no money for the first third of that half at least. If that hadn't happened, we could be standing here with an OG win, to be honest.
I'm going to say it's not only just T-sided that the force buys went back and forth like that, but it's also just it's sided for the team that put less of a game plan into it. And OG, NBK was talking about how much they prepared for this match. They knew they were going to play Nuke, but you can never run your game plan if for the first 9 rounds of a game, you never have a gun round. It took until round number 10 for Montu to even get an op, and that is unacceptable if you actually had a plan with how he's going to be using that op. The fact that you can't even run the setups, you were drilling the counters, any of that will never come until you have the utility, have the guns that you need in order to actually take the firefights.
Well, of course, we will be going on to the second map of the series, and that map will be Inferno. And I believe we have Yumi standing by to break down a particular moment for us. So what do you got for us, Yumi?
Yeah, thank you. We just wanted to have a look at a little preview about how Inferno will be played out. And we're looking at MIBR versus Envy in their group stage game. We're going to see them start off with a man disadvantage. You can see VSM looking aggressively down towards Banana for an aggressive pick. And as soon as he goes down here, you can see Leo gives up on Banana, just has to play from the site, and actually immediately drops a smoke. But eventually what you'll see is that MIBR look to group up into the late round. You can see that smoke deployed over towards that B bomb site, and they gamble stack the A bomb site. There's a lot of advantages to this. If they go B, you can save your weapons for a follow-up round, but MIBR, they're an aggressive team. They like to go and take these fights, so instead they just collapse on middle, both simultaneously pushing off of short and that long position simultaneously, and it actually flips the round on its head. Envy start off with that man advantage, but cannot sustain it, and that's the type of aggression that MIBR love going for in the late round when they're put in that disadvantage. But back to you guys on the desk.
Thank you very much for that insight, Yumi. And I know you had a few thoughts, Alan, coming into this from the side of MIBR. What are you expecting for Inferno?
So that round that we just saw broke down, that's a really great example of how MIBR plays CT in general. They are so proactive, probably the most proactive team in this tournament on the CT side. They love to take risks. They just stack up areas, keep it super simple. They just walk in and take the fight. You see the same on Vertigo. They love doing that sort of thing on the A bomb site. The question is for MIBR, they need to be making these decisions at the right time. That's the hard bit. It's super easy to have loads of options or just say, yeah, let's just group up and push in. But calling it at the right time, that's where all of the skill is really in Counter-Strike, to be honest. And that's what I want to see from MIBR going forward. They're always going to be proactive on the CT side. I want to see them making the right decisions at the right times.
Well, I think we can check in with MBK. We've got a few words of wisdom from him, I believe, coming up on our screen. Map 1, not good. Map 2, have to be gooder.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Exactly.
That is words of wisdom from the natural-born killer. I mean, like, does anything... I mean, that's exactly what they're going into Map 2 saying to each other.
He should be up here,
We got to
right?
be gooder. We have to be gooder.
Well, let's see if they can be gooder, because we're going to hand it over to James and Hawker to get us into the second map in this best-of-3 series. It's going to be Inferno. Guys, take it away.
Thank you very much. Indeed, it is an uphill struggle now for OG, in my opinion. That was such a strong map from MIBR, and just the individual things we saw from KNG, like the wild plays, jumping into the A-bomb site and so on, absolutely ridiculous. He's going to be a huge problem on Inferno as well.
Yeah, man, he was looking like KN Jesus out there, honestly. That's maybe what it stands for. I don't know, but he was killing it on the first map. I would love to see more of the same on Inferno. This is OG's map pick, though, and you can see reflected in the odds. They seem to have a better chance on this one. We'll see if they can live up to it. OG starting on the T side. They've got 2 sets of nades, but no P250s, James.
Yeah, again, if they can use their utility to close the distance, and that's okay. But even like if you take A and you're shooting on the other side of it, that P250 would come in handy. Anyway, doesn't mean what they're doing is wrong, of course. T.R.A.E will have the high ground, but for how long? Wants to stop you from getting into... Oh my god, that flick was disgusting. Well, that's a great start from T.R.A.E. Sharp as ever. And already this bomb site is surrounded. MIBR not far to push, and speaking of pushing, OG trying to fuse their numbers. Well, they can, but Leo Drunky says no. Absolute and utter denial. VSM and T.R.A.E with perfect... T.R.A.E with perfect Kevlar. Gets a cheap helmet. Lucas took 1 damage. Not the same for him. That'll cost him $1,000 or an extra $650, but my god. That hold from MIBR. They just all look so ready to defend everything.
Oh, the player was jumping as well that T.R.A.E takes out. Leo there spamming with the USP, getting a couple of kills for his troubles, and then T.R.A.E comes right back from the apartments. And you can already see the celebrations beginning over in their boot camp. They are very happy boys right now after winning that pistol round. I gotta say, on Inferno, I'm definitely looking at how T.R.A.E does in that apartments position. I think it's a position that suits him pretty well in terms of having to sort of stay alive and just be a really solid and reliable player there. I think you see in that round some of T.R.A.E.'s strengths start to shine through. First, he gets a really nice kill, and then he just survives in the apartments and just ends up being really annoying. Able to get that final kill through for his team. And even with the bomb plant, OG are not going to be forcing into this round. Just a small bit of investment into this one, a couple of nades for them, and some chickens on the map. Still only on Inferno.
Perhaps OG had nightmares from the previous map in terms of force buys, even though they're on a T side now. Well, they've got themselves 4 HE grenades. Where might these be headed? Would they expect 3 men towards Banana, perhaps? Will they all be going towards Banana? Oh, that's a nice angle for one. Oh, no! One's gone backwards! Alexi B's got 28 HP. That hasn't gone the way they wanted it to, but the rush might just do. VSM, they're lining up for him. And maybe that wrong direction HE will certainly help. VSM really got to keep his gun out here. The distance has been closed. Valde's picked up an M4 as well, standing around this smoke grenade, and VSM's pulling out the utility once more. Has no idea where Valde is. He's about to open a bomb site, but there'll only be 2 of them left. Alexi B with the Glock is dead. Valde doesn't have the bomb. So at this point, it's a question of damage. He'll, of course, be looking to clutch it. And we've seen some amazing clutches from him before, but this would be quite unexpected. Unreasonable, in fact. Full health players with helmets versus 3 HP Valde. And the utility is just too much. He's got to sit it out. He's in the sin bin right now. Lucas waiting in CT with the FAMAS. T.R.A.E and KNG will have eyes on that bomb. Flashbang as well. Death by paper cuts maybe for Valde. Really being careful. Trying to force the engagement. Well, that's 1 down, 2 to go. They're lining up though. Oh, that cross there, you did start to wonder. But he just didn't have enough health.
Getting 3 kills out of this round is ridiculous. Like, especially with this nade landing on Alexi B. VSM getting early kills with the MP9, but it was Leo who was first to fall in that equation. And yeah, OG are really happy with that, honestly. Forcing a huge reinvestment from MIBR. I doubt MIBR are going to have any real money in the bank. You can already see they've basically had to reinvest everything into this round. So that last round is a massive win for OG. Even though they don't win the round, it's a massive win in terms of the economy game. Now we get a full buy for both squads, and we get early banana aggression from OG. They are forcing MIBR back from this position. And something that Maui pointed out on the desk earlier is that at times, MIBR have had some struggles coordinating these banana holds. VSM and Leo are going to have to do a better job here today, and they're going to be double stacking the sandbags right now.
Valde and Alexi B both have HE grenades, and they're both on banana.
Even just a molly there would cause all sorts of problems.
Waiting patiently for a curious peek. Maybe with a sniper rifle there would be one, but there's no snipers on deck just yet. The M4A4s versus the AKs. Autobots and Decepticons.
He's going to molly it. Oh no, he molly top banana.
Yeah, and Leo Drunky, you can see there's a bait setup as well, so even if he goes down, VSM doesn't even need to necessarily engage the first player who peeks. You can see them falling back. If they didn't, that could be the bomb, the objective. It's been seen now in the hands of Mantu, and he'll lose his duel with VSM, of course. Oh my god, another self-grenade. Causes some panic, but OG are not in position to do anything about it. NBK lurking, but C.R.A.E.'s made no assumptions. He is ready for the duel on short, despite the bomb being down on banana. 20 seconds remain for Issa to do what he can. Some taps to the old car position. Some of you newer viewers might not know what that means, but there used to be a car there, essentially. Well, some extra damage towards the end, but it will be 3-0 for MIBR. And VSM will just make sure that OG are dead.
Yeah, he's loud and proud about it, making sure they know he is on the server today. That setup from MIBR, quite nice the way it works out for them on banana, in that VSM is tucking in the entire time, and then once he realizes no one else is pushing, VSM actually is aware he can just go aggressive, and even if he spots players, it's probably going to be an okay fight for him. But there's definitely a world in which he just walks down banana and realizes it's clear, and then can call for the rotation. So I love the sort of proactive play from MIBR, getting a bunch of information early. And this is a little bit worrying for OG, considering their start on Nuke was very bad as well. If they have a similar situation here, this could be a struggle for them. Somehow Alexi B's won that fight though, but he walks into the flames afterwards. A bit of a weird start to the round, but Alexi B gets one kill for his team. That gun won't be recovered anytime soon though. MIBR have full banana control, and OG are sitting on the other side of the map.
The cluck of chickens kind of disarms the atmosphere of all these guns around as things are quiet for now. OG have no flashes, but they know their angles. Looking to swing together, but Leo Drunky keeps the angle very tight indeed. So Valde's got a deagle. Again, he's in a difficult clutch situation. This time he's got Kevlar and 78 HP. KNG's round the back. Now, he should hear that there are two players on the B, well, from CT. They'll look to secure the bomb plant. Now, notice the elevated plant on coffins. Oh, never mind, that down goes to here, VSM, and oh my god, KNG just insta-deleted him around that corner. No time to talk. Anyway, see where the bomb plant is. There's a normal bomb plant, which is on the floor. There's an elevated bomb plant. So, if somebody was the other side of coffins and there's a smoke up, for example, and they tried to spray you as you planted, the wall would cover you from the bomb plant. Something to be aware of if you're playing the game later on. KNG came with a Ferrari peak on that one, though.
Yeah, his rifles look so good today. It's pretty rare for AWPers to have such good rifles as well, but it's a really valuable thing to have in these sort of scrappy games where your money's not always going to be well established. Finally, it's good enough for KNG to get the AWP out into this one, though. A 4-0 lead for MIBR. AK's back out for OG. And I like that MIBR are actually playing pretty passive on the B site at the starts of these rounds. I think there were too many times where one player would be pushing in some of their past games and he wouldn't really have the timing right to get good fights. His teammate wouldn't be able to back him up. So I think just playing back on the B site to begin with is a decent idea. And then maybe you can try and take banana control later in the round if you really want to. As it stands though, it's a pretty passive setup from MIBR. They have 3 players stacked on this short side of A though. Maybe looking to see if they can gang up on OG if the push were to come in that direction. As it stands though, OG is still yet to make up their minds. Another smoke deployed by the CTs, but it looks like the Brazilians won't be fighting for top mid any longer. They're backing up to the bomb site. Still leaving A long open on the MIBR side though. That is a little surprising, but OG are still happy to just run this clock down. 45 seconds left. The bomb is back on banana. There are a few players at top mid. They are slowly but surely going to have to make up their minds here on the OG side.
C.R.A.E has a smoke to deploy. Lucas taken out by the pit. Does he deploy? Did I just see his gun through the wall? I'm not sure. Well, the bomb is alone in front of B. And there's a molly right in front of it. So this is looking very, very scary indeed. MIBR defending from the site. Leo Drunky with an off angle. Data telling what might be going on. His teammate's been lost, so he has to stay alive here for as long as possible. The rest of MIBR being contained on the A bomb site with MBK holding the rotation. With 6 seconds, the bomb is going to be planted, and there's nothing else for MIBR to do.
God, that was a close one, wasn't it, on the time? Having to wrap that B site. Especially if the banana players ended up losing those trades, that's when you have real issues. But they're able to survive. They're able to split that site successfully. And then MBK was this man just kind of keeping them on the A side of the map. Nicely done by OG to get their first round win. I think too few teams go for those splits through CT into B. They can be very powerful, especially since MIBR were somewhat scared of the A play because they saw some early nades. They didn't get the chance to rotate over. And it is a nice way for OG to outposition their opponents to win their first round. Question is, will they be able to do that as the game goes on? This was MBK getting that early kill on the A site as well. That's really helpful when you're trying to split B like that. It just makes the A players have to play a bit further back. They don't have the same ability to go aggressive again. You can't really flash your teammate in for a peek as easily. And that helps OG win their first round. But MIBR will still be buying. It's not a perfect buy for them, though. They've got a couple of things missing here.
They really do. Lucas and VSM will remain on Desert Eagles. They do have utility, though, to maybe stave off the initial push, or will they? VSM avoids a flashbang, but not a headshot from Pallate. KNG by the sandbags here. Could take them by surprise. How aggressive will he get now? I think he senses them falling back and has a look at sees LXCB. Quick flick, thank you, and goodbye. Now the question is, will KNG rotate the AWP? When you know there's a force buy, you'd expect that kind of thing to happen. And OG may be looking to respond quickly before MIBR can take proper position on the A bomb site. There's no crossfire for Lucas, he is alone. However, KNG is indeed on the way. Valde's crept through the smoke on long. Can't save his teammate Issa though, my god. He's so fast with the AWP. Does he consider the off angle being played now? They've got to stop peeking KNG. Oh my god, he's so close. Again, Valde's in arch, playing an off angle more or less. And there we go, he'll finally be paid off for it, but the remainder of MIBR already on short. Bomb's not planted just yet. Leo's swinging, there's a headshot, can't follow up though. Neither can T.R.K. OG survive, they prevail.
Triple kill from Valde, who has been really solid for OG, I think, at this tournament especially. I believe he's been their best rated player. Really feels like he's finding his form in the last month or so on this team. And I think that's what we need to see from OG. He's got to be one of the stars of this squad. He was certainly the star in that round. MBK as well, getting another important entry kill, but Valde in the back lines doing a good amount of damage. And Mantu getting on the board with the AK as well. It is going to be Mantu with the AWP now, though. Some snipers don't like picking up the AWP on the T side of Inferno. There aren't always that many options for you. In this round, I assume Mantu won't be required to do too much, though, because it's only 4 USPs for MIBR, a single P250 invested, and poor VSM is trying to play anti-flash. He's not going to be allowed to shoot anyone, though. He is already dead.
Yeah, that Brazilian booty will be seen from a mile away. Easy kill for OG. MIBR don't have much to offer. Won't even go for any exit frags. There's no SMGs or any threat in that respect, but they may not know that. So, not wanting to give any bonus money to OG, they'll all sit in the pit. And hey, they can discuss some strats for the round to come in this time. Their money kind of sucks right now. So this is an opportunity for OG to exact revenge for the first half of Nuke, at least the beginning of it. Always reminds me of when you have like cheerleaders standing on a motorbike or something like that. Some kind of motorcade thing.
Sure.
When I see pictures like this.
Did you have cheerleaders standing on motorbikes at your school, James? Because I just think of cheerleaders from like school or whatever.
Well, we didn't have cheerleaders.
No?
There was nothing to cheer for in my school. However,
Oh.
on New Year's Day, there's normally a parade in London, and there's loads of American schools that come over and like marching bands and stuff.
Oh, God.
So maybe you'd see that in middle of London in January. Maybe not this year, but perhaps the one afterwards.
I'll keep my eye out, James. I'll keep my eye out. OG will be keeping their eyes on the prize right now, though. They've got 3 rounds on their T side of Inferno. They will be looking for more. Valda there plopping a smoke down. That's to make sure he doesn't get a molly landing on his face so that he can spot over the top of it. He can realize that banana control is going to be theirs for the taking. I think this is nice for OG that they're consistently getting control of banana in these rounds. It means that they can force MIBR back and really try and play with those rotations, really try and find a weak point on the map. I think that's something OG are normally very good at, and Valda's actually got the kill over the smoke there. Leo gets caught out, and there's a quick response from OG. They might be setting up some fast aggression towards B.
Yeah, there's some aggression for you. VSN, they're lining up for him with the AUG, though. Manages to avoid the third player. Oh, that's such a tight angle from Mantu, but he manages to keep hold of the bomb. And MBK will do even better in mid and shut the round down. The score is now tied for OG. Space to breathe on the T side of Inferno as they put MIBR back into eco territory once again. The next buy will be stronger, though, MIBR. But it's been 4 rounds in a row for OG. Momentum firmly in their favor, keeping MIBR broke every other round. Now, their half buy, well, it's not even a half buy, their eco round can be more dangerous because their loss bonus has risen. So we will see lots of pins to be pulled in these high explosive grenades. And the Desert Eagles as well. All kinds of shrapnel flying down Banana. Valdo has 13 HP. And MIBR are posted up. Alexi B now up close with that MAC-10, trying to keep things better than even for his team. Not sure if he's getting shot through the wall there, but Alexi B's down to 11 HP. All those HEs have come and gone. We can see MIBR now rotating towards this A bomb site as Utility will take Banana for OG. Seems they'll commit all their forces to A MIBR, but OG, I wonder what their read is. Maybe looking for a re-aggression, maybe a pot flash or something on Banana. It will never come, but where will they go?
Where did they come from? Where did they go, James? I'm not going to finish the lyrics of Cotton Eye Joe for you. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, I was thinking, like, is that Gangstrap or something? No. Cotton Eye
You
Joe.
thought I was going to reference
My
Gangster
God,
Rap.
it just gets whiter and whiter on his desk.
That's what I'm here for, man. That's what I'm here for. I wonder how many... Surely most of the viewers, even like young people, will know Cotton Eye Joe, won't they? I feel like it's played at every, like...
We're not doing this, Hawk Up.
Okay, we're not doing this. We are not doing this. According to James, I will oblige. KNG's up close, MAC-10. This could be nice. Alexi's not ready. AK recovered. Maybe there is a chance for MIBR to get something going here. The bomb's yet to be planted. KNG coming in quickly with the AK, and he's got 3 kills for it. It's only Mantu remaining, and this has gone horribly wrong for OG. They thought they were having a party on the B site, but KNG was not invited to it. He's got 3 kills, and KNG's getting up close as well. Bomb planted for Mantu. He's only on 30 health, though, as he backs off towards Ruins. He's got to get a quick reaction, and it's not going to happen. KNG with a quad kill. Lucas maybe has lagged out even, so that's KNG doing everything for them.
Oh my God. That is entirely Alexi B's fault. Because he went past the half wall with an AK-47. You can see that. He's like, oh, fuck. He went past the half wall with the AK-47, and as we can see, there was an opportunity for the CTs to get up there without him knowing. Didn't even check it. just assumed it was clear. A lapse in concentration allowed MIBR to win a round on eco. They got deleted with that rifle. Absolutely deleted. Always got to be careful with your rifle. It's got to keep range between you and a potential situation where you could lose one, and it will just riddle your teammates with bullets. That was a complete disaster. Everything going the way of OG momentum, but one error caused collapse, catastrophe, and implosion.
Especially when the bomb hasn't even been planted yet. Like, maybe you can get away with that when the bomb has been planted. I still wouldn't advise it, but maybe you could get away with it. But the fact that AlexiB gives away the AK and then the AK is used to deny the bomb plant, that makes it almost impossible for OG to win at that point.
Yeah, and they had a lot of money. I mean, they have a lot of money, OG, so they don't have any issue there. They didn't even give that much money to MIBR because Lucas, you know, he was no longer with us. So KNG is the only person who picks up a weapon from that. But, I mean, how does that not deject you mentally to lose a round in that fashion? That is a huge turning point, potentially, let's say. We know for MIBR it is. You know how they like to pop off. Lucas, he can't even watch the game on his own screen at that point. He's watching on someone else's. KNG wins that, just going nuts like it's unbelievable. Imagine if he... Oh, God, who knows, man. We're just waiting for Lucas to rejoin, and then we will resume. But that is absolute madness.
I wonder if it's better or worse for OG here to have this pause between this round and the next one. Because I feel like after a round like that, I'd almost just want to get straight back into it after making a mistake like that.
Yeah,
I just want to go straight again.
Yeah, this ain't good, man. You can read it on their faces as well. They're like, oh, man, how did we just do that? We're better than this. And they are better than that. They are better than that. But again, there's always... You know, you talk about sports psychology and stuff. Like, there's often a way to put a positive spin on something. So again, you know, AlexiB will feel like, oh, I've just shit the bed and we've lost a round and like 20k or something in that round. But the positive spin is, well, if we're gonna make a massive mistake like that, let's do it in round 9, not round 29, where it costs us an entire game. They can recover from that. They've got plenty of money, so there are positives to be had. Like, cool. If we're gonna make a mistake, if we're gonna have a dirt moment, let's do it early, where it doesn't have a colossal impact. Because it's still within their power. I mean, you can say that to them anyway. It's still within their power to turn things around on this next one. And you know, if they win this next round, MIBR are broke once again. If MIBR win this round, there's another full buy to come from OG. So there are positives to be had. Only one player survived. If it's like an eco round and like 4 rifles are collected, then you've basically given the CTs an extra buy. Not the case here. So there are ways to kind of keep your players focused and be like, cool, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as it could have otherwise been, blah, blah, blah. I think it's important to be able to kind of give that focus, whoever the captain is on the team, let's say.
It was looking like OG were even turning this pause into a bit of a positive for them, because it looked like they were just cracking some jokes there. Like, Valdo was having a smile, he was having a laugh. It looks like they've lightened things up slightly. You can see, like, he's not looking stressed right now, which I think is the most important thing. You know, just be like, you know what, shit happens, guys. We can get back into it, especially because they still have money as well. Like, if you lose that round and it screws your economy, that's really bad. But the fact you can just keep buying and you can potentially still just break MIBR's money into the future, look, it's not the end of the world for OG. I think they know it. And hopefully we can get back into the action soon, because this has been a pretty fun start to the game, I think. You know, MIBR getting off to the strong start. They got the early rounds. Felt like OG were really coming back into it, though, once they got the guns into their hands.
MBK's had that beard for quite a while now. Not that I've been counting. Top geezer. Big poker player as well. I think he sometimes streams.
He does.
I want to say sometimes streams when he plays poker.
Yeah. You have to put a delay on when you're streaming poker.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You would be an idiot not to.
Yeah, he's made some. He seems to be a pretty good player at poker, so definitely check him out if you're of interest. Want to see some related people playing. Well, Jim is on the server. That's good.
Hello, Jim. Where is it? Oh,
And like Jim,
he's invisible.
He's
Apparently,
gone again.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's out.
That's a nice knife. The gold is just so easy to contrast with in this game. Sometimes people tell me, oh, should I get this knife or that knife? It's like, get whatever you want, man. Get the one you like. Doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah,
But
that is.
you know, you can put that with anything. It contrasts with absolutely anything, so you can't go wrong.
Do you have gloves? Or
I
not?
have 2 pairs of gloves.
All right.
On the CT side, I've got the crimson kimono ones,
Okay.
which are black and red.
Yes.
And on the T side, I have emerald web, which is like green with spider webs on them.
That sounds cool.
So
that sounds good.
my loadout is mostly green on the T side. Green.
Nice.
What you doing? Green, green, green. And then kind of black and red on the other side for the most part, with some highlights here and there.
Wow. James sharing his style tips with us. Let's see who's going to style on who in this round on the server. We're back into the action after a bit of a break. Flash over the top of Banana. And once again, OG are looking for this control. They've been pretty solid so far at winning these Banana fights or just getting this area of the map, forcing MIBR away from it. This time, though, KNG is here with the AWP, and that means he is going to be fighting for position. He's having another good game. That molly is great, though. Really well timed. It means that KNG goes down to below half health. He doesn't get the chance to land a shot, but here comes the flashbang. Leo closing the distance. The spray not successful, though. Alexiv stands his ground, and OG have a clean man advantage. And this is where it's really difficult. I think Inferno is one of the hardest maps to play on CT side when you're down a man. You've got to leave somewhere vulnerable, and right now, MIBR are leaving just 1 man on B.
In the meantime, OG may be offering a fake towards the A bomb site, put a smoke towards mini pit. We can see Eastern and NBK had some intentions. They're trying to deny information towards top mid. What they don't realize, though, is that VSM is still top mid. However, KNG is alone on that B bomb site with 30 seconds remaining. Surely VSM's got to peek for information and cause some kind of rotation soon. A very forward smoke from KNG, suggesting a retake, trying to delay, but again, we can see VSM just had a quick look and he's seen that there's no one top mid, but there's no rotation from MIBR either. 16 seconds now, and there's the bait taken by KNG. The bomb site's been lost. MIBR may not have responded in time, but 3v3, we can see VSM is already here, trying to, oh my god, the angle! Not high enough, however, but man, he knows his angles. 2 versus 3 now for MIBR.
That kill would have won them the round. There wouldn't have been enough time, but unfortunately, the spray's slightly off. What do Lucas and TRK have to say about this, though? 2 players stacked towards Ruins for OG. That could be a pretty solid setup. Shadow spotted as well from Valda. TRK gets the first, but Valda's there for the trade. He doesn't realize Lucas close by, but Issa is still waiting in the corner. 1 man too many for MIBR to deal with on that B bomb site. OG bounced straight back, and that round win puts MIBR's money in a bad space. So the fact that OG just comes straight back with a round win, that is a really positive sign for them.
It is, but one thing that isn't is that KNG still has money for an AWP. From OG's point of view, now they've turned it around again and got back to winning ways. They can forget about that issue on Banana. However, they may be reminded of it soon because, again, the man who did manage to save a weapon in that round was KNG, which means that he has an extra buy, which means he has an AWP. And that is a problem, as we can see, because Mantu just got slapped in the face by a massive rifle.
Ooh. MBK spotted. KNG's got a second kill. He could be the man to win his team the round single-handedly. He just had a chance to get a third. Very tight angle on that one, though, so he's not able to connect. But it's still the edge in favor of MIBR in terms of numbers.
Well, Issa just got a lot of sound cues. He knows that KNG fell back. He heard that. He heard him jumping down short, which has allowed him to take this angle. And that gives OG away into top mid at the very least. Now MIBR are devoid of information. They know KNG is probably playing from the site, but who knows? He could be pushing apartments for all they know. Still a dangerous situation. And again, KNG could still potentially make them pay for that mistake a few rounds ago. Well, that flashbang failed. He's lucky to get away with that, for sure. Oh, and KNG keeps getting opportunities, but finally he's been taken out. Question is anybody else here? Lucas may not be checked for. The cavalry was on the way, has been deleted now. VSM will have a second window. Lining up! Lucas, he's got such a chance with a deagle. Few bullets left, he runs out. And now it's VSM 1 versus 2. Valde and Lexi Beaver crossfire. Surely this one is close to over.
I mean, with how this round has gone, I don't even know, James. I feel like there's still a chance somehow. VSM knows there's a man on the site. He heard the reload. Alexi almost caught with a nade in his hands, but the player from Pit could be able to peek. Molotov should keep VSM at bay, and as long as Alexi B stays in this spot,
my God.
he should be safe. It's so tight on this angle. It's so close to being spotted, but VSM's just not getting the opportunities he needed. He would have needed quick kills, and he's not going to get them. Valda, 17 for 7. I said he's been in good form, but I wasn't expecting him to be this good.
I feel like if you ran that round 5 times and it played out the same way, I think KNG probably wins this round alone most of the time. If you consider the shots he just about missed around the short position until he finally was eliminated. Another scary round, but while those threats have gone, MIBR are back on the 4-buy again. There's not 1 AWP, but it is 2, which maybe makes up for the shortcomings in utility and the SMG on Leo Drunky. The big cannon with VSM as well. Holding an angle, spots at least one, looking to be a fast play into the B bomb site. Manages to escape with his life. And maybe this fast take of Banana will cause MIBR to use more of their precious utility, which they don't have a lot of.
Nade from Alexi is dead on. How does that get the kill?
He must have had no Kevlar.
I thought he was on 70 health, right?
He must have had no Kevlar.
Yeah, I guess. That must be true.
Yeah, KNG doesn't have any either.
Wow.
God grenade has been collected by Leo Drunky, who certainly does have Kevlar, but the HEs have come and gone. Still 2 players on the B bomb site, and look at these flanks. Even if TRK just sits here, he would have the sound cues of the rotation, but he's going to do more than that. He's going to make his way up, and he's going to get a frag immediately. KNG now stuck at the back of the site. Issa looking for it. Might not be a good idea, though. And KNG just comes out again. This man is so aggressive. He's got support from Lucas with a flashbang as well, and deletes the rest of them. 16 for 5. Had the 30 bomb on Nuke, and he's halfway there already.
God damn, KNG is having one of those days where he looks like one of the best AWPers in the world, and I am all here for it. This is what we needed to see from MIBR to give them a good chance in this one. Here's that nade over the top. Yeah, it doesn't even look that close to him, so I think he had to be without Kevlar there. But then KNG getting flashed in for that second peak. Credit to Lucas for getting those 2 flash assists, helping him isolate those fights. But even more credit to KNG for landing the shots. If this continues, MIBR look to make this a close map, and KNG wants to continue his reign of terror on this B side of the map. He's looking for fights. He's not been given them this time, though.
Burst out from Boiler. Okay, C.R.A.E. ill-equipped. Down he goes. Lucas has a lot to do here. He is alone on this bomb site. The swing, he will not survive. He will not make it around the corner. OG have got more rounds to win in this half, it looks like. MIBR not really best placed for a retake. And there's a free one for Pallate. Looking for a little pre-fire, but VSM will survive for now. And who knows, maybe he'll be hunted as we approach the dying rounds of the first half. OG's money's not perfect, but they may smell opportunity. They've already left the bomb site entirely. They know MIBR are not going for it. Manti will stay, sorry, NBK will stay close in case of any ninja. But my God, KNG, he lives in no one's shadow on this MIBR roster.
Oh, Alexi B was trying to flash himself in, it sounded like. Not successful this time, though. KNG removes him from the round. At this point, OG's money is decent, but saving 3 guns is always nice. It makes it much less expensive to rebuy any of the Kevlar, any of those AKs. So they're going to hold on to them. Really nice entry from Issa, though. He's definitely a player who sometimes can just get that 1 kill that makes all the difference for you. And then Valda able to just hold on Banana. Valda now up to 18 kills. I was just double-checking the stats. This is Valda's best map statistically. I think Valda does really well on this map because he works with Alexi B a lot of the time, and it feels like those two have a really good understanding for each other. So if you want to look at the player for OG to watch, it looks like it's Valda right now, but KNG's the one who's been making the flashy plays, and wow, that is massive nade damage.
That's insane. They've got combined 8 HP, but TRK could still have a colossal impact. Can KNG help him, though? You can see TRK trying to survive. Down he goes, as does VSM. Oh, my God. That is quite the combo. OG have to be wondering what just happened as well. A double Molotov kill from Alexi B. The Sunday roast is here, ladies and gentlemen. Get your knives and forks out and your bibs if you are susceptible to dribble.
Very tasty if you're an OG fan. Maybe not MIBR's cup of tea. But they're going to have to go for a bye into the last round of the half. And how about OG coming back here on this T side? MIBR have had a couple of incredible round wins based off individuals. They had that strong start where they took a 4-0 lead on the CT side. But OG have still fought through all of that. They fought through the treacherous waters. Now they're out to the other side. They're out to the Oasis. And it is looking lovely for them in this round. Valda doing even more damage. He's got 20 kills at the half. It hasn't felt like Valdez had any real highlight moments. He's just been consistently putting up solid numbers. And now that B site should be OG's for the taking any second now.
Somehow, it's still pretty close. Valde, one bullet from Doom, which could come for a smoke. He is waiting by the tree on Banana. TRK and Lucas are close. They have a lot of grenades. They don't have a kit, but indeed they are close. So rotation time is 0. And the creep begins. Man disadvantage, one must be careful. Some spray by the coffin, some presence shown. Maybe considering a smoke towards Banana, perhaps. There we go. Some mollies around the back as well. And now it's 1 versus 3 for TRK. That bomb is too far ticked anyway to kill 3 people. And there we go. 9 rounds for OG at halftime. A great first half of Inferno. We'll see how it continues on the other side. And we're back. MIBR moved to the T side, 3 rounds behind OG, who look to take things to a 3rd map, to a map of Dust 2, perhaps. 4 sets of Kevlar for OG. LXCB will have some flashes and the diffuse kit, and it'll be TRK and KNG with the utility on the T side. KNG with a P250 as well, which is more rare on Inferno, but certainly necessary in my opinion, which is fact.
Don't forget about the decoy, James. That counts as utility. The
It,
little
it does
decoy.
actually, because a fake flash could really come in handy and clutch a pistol round. It'll happen one day.
Even like a fake smoke or something can sometimes work. If you hear it bouncing, you're like, oh, there's smoke in CT. No, they're not. It's a decoy. Valda getting a kill on Banana already. Our stats man, Yumi, was giving me some good stats. 7 multi-kills so far for Valda, 132 ADR, just consistently putting up kills, and he's set to continue that in this second half. But it's the A play we have to look at. It's a spots the shadow, spamming, and he gets 1. It's Mantu with 2, though, and it's KNG who's alone.
Oh, surely he goes for a knife kill here. If he gets an angle, he's not going to get the angle. Never mind. Value play for the AWP, in my opinion. Never mind. OG make it to 10. 2 of the players at least will get the cheap helmet for 350. And that really is significant because it means that if you so choose to, you can likely opt for a rifle over the SMG and utility. Often you'll need at least 1 kill in order to get just enough to get that rifle. But it can save you some money in the long run, depending on how the rounds go. Anyway. It'll be the 2 rifles, the 3 MP9s for OG. Fast fire rate, moving speed, also nice with those SMGs. MIBR have gone for the force by grenades at the beginning of Banana. LXB and Valde look to see what may await them. They'll slow things down there with an incendiary. $600 well spent, if you ask me.
Oh, more nade damage done onto Leo. Down to 8 HP. KNG also low. Who's using the CZ on T side nowadays? I know I'm not. KNG apparently is. We'll see if he gets to use it. VSM already out of the round. Alexi B jumping around the corner with the pre-fire. He needs to make sure he holds, and he will.
Days.
That is filthy. An ace from Alexi B with that MP9.
Yeah, that'll certainly make him feel better about himself. MP9's got slightly better jumping accuracy than the other SMGs as well. So at close range like that, it's not a bad idea to try and avoid a headshot with a little hop. It disappoints me every time you say CZ rather than CZ.
It just sounds so much better. CZ, CZ.
I'm even more disappointed now.
What?
What is wrong with you? Where's your patriotism for the Z?
I'm sorry.
The only Z I'll say is Jay-Z.
Yeah, you have to say Jay-Z.
Yeah, that's it. DJ EZ for life. Let's go.
MBK with the MP9 goes back to a safer spot, and Mantu is here to help him. Oh, that Molly's doing damage as well. Really nice shot from TRK. Even getting 1 kill there is pretty impressive considering the circumstances, but that will be all she wrote for MIBR in that round. It is now 12-6 for OG. They are starting to run away with this one. MIBR need to stop the train right now, otherwise this could be over.
Yeah, OG looking to storm to 16 rounds. But now comes the real test. KNG's on the AK-47, and as we saw on Nuke, that was pretty successful. He's having a great series. 17 for 10 at the moment, only behind Valde, who is 21 for 11. We've spoken about his stats already. We'll see what KNG's able to do. His entries were quite significant on Nuke. Will they be the same on Inferno? A boost? Are you looking to boost over the smoke or just jump around? Okay. Maybe a bit of both. VSM now looking for a re-aggression. Mantu's in the apartment with a sniper rifle. Outrageous behavior from him. Takes out Leo Drunky in second mid. Under the bridge, I think.
Ooh, that's a nice nade. Does a bit of damage across the board. That means that the M4 of Valdo will now be a one-shot headshot on every single player. So he could get a highlight clip here if he lines it up right, if he plays his cards right. Mantu has had a pretty quiet series, but I think here on Inferno, T side, he didn't have too many chances to get that AWP out. His teammates were doing a lot of work as well.
T side AWP kind of sucks as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Until the bomb's been planted.
I expect to see him doing a lot better here on the second half, and he has rotated over to the B site as well. So Mantu's got even more opportunities here to hold in this round.
40 seconds on the clock. All of MIBR.
Dude, look at the nades for OG. Holy.
Yeah, well, look at these Molotovs for MIBR. About to get biblical on this B bomb site as they look to push through the smoke. LXB avoids the flashbang but can't avoid TRK. However, his teammates will have a massive cleanup, leaving KNG still looking for a rotator at the very least, and one may come eventually. 20 seconds to look to have some kind of impact. There must be someone at the back, surely. Having a quick look as he does not want to die after time, so he'll have to force this engagement now. There we go. He's found some value. And again, in that respect, KNG's spatial awareness has been really impressive. Like, what can I squeeze out of this round? Well, there has to be someone at the back. There's no way they're all on the B-bomb site. Finds a kill, escapes, knows he has to do it before time. That much is cool. However, 4 rounds from 4 in this half for OG. They're only 3 away from a third map.
Yeah, I guess it might just be worth MIBR forcing at this point. They can get a couple of AKs alongside KNG's saved AK. KNG's not going to have money, so you could maybe just keep it as a hero AK in this round and half buy. I guess that's a decent option as well, honestly, but whatever happens, I think it's fair to say OG are in full control of this game right now. We're even seeing the big man, Mantu, show up in that round. I would love to see it go to Dust 2 as well, just because with KNG playing this well, like Dust 2, he's going to have all sorts of options. Like, I know MIBR would rather win 2-0, but that's looking less and less likely. And if KNG continues to play this well on Dust 2, he could have a real fun time, and we could have a real fun time watching it.
Well, we've got that hero AK from KNG. Let's not forget what happened on Nuke with this. More than once, I think. Some HEs up banana, but it's a deagle from Lucas, which will open the proceedings in that respect, at least for his team. Valde and Lexi B will do better, however. But KNG is out now, looking for that 1 versus 1. Nice fadeaway from Issa. He knows KNG is coming hunting. Now, Leo Drunky's a high health player. Does he take the AK, as he can take a fight more than KNG? KNG can't really take a bullet now, so surely they do a change. There we go. Now, Leo needs to try and find an entry. I think worst case scenario would be if one of these pistols has to swing out and die, leaving only 2 of them. Ideally, they want these pistol arrows to pick up some rifles later on. But we're asking a lot in this round for any success. NBK will be in the pit staring at the apartments. He'll have a crossfire with Issa if required. And Lexi B's not too far away. So this might be a comfortable one. There we go. KNG takes a bullet for the President, but the President is still in the apartments, in the choke point. That's a nasty one from TRK. How on earth do they get out? Again, TRK's got to go first, drops the bomb. Leo Drunky at the back, and Issa will make a misstep. There's a chance now for Leo Drunky. 1 versus 2. He has time to take before he tries to plant this bomb. He knows Alexi's curious. Do they realize the bomb was on short? Going for that default plant. But again, not much is safe. Doesn't know where these players are, though. I'm sure Manti will be posting up with the AWP. Looking to move together. He's got some sound cues now, surely. You can see them with the pistol out first. Going wide as he can for Mantu to trade. Very well done by OG. An expensive run, but a successful one.
Yeah, MIBR won't be too disappointed with getting the bomb plant, but at this point in the game, they want to be winning those rounds to give themselves a real chance at this one. Oh, that's an excellent shot from TRK. Very tight angle. Leo here, if this was a cleaner spray onto Alexi, he might be able to tuck into cover sooner and get away from Mantu and then maybe give himself a chance to control the fight. Not in this world, though. Not meant to be on this occasion. And with a 14-6 lead, OG look like they might cruise to victory here on Inferno, unless MIBR can do something in this very round. Valde getting aggressive. Mantu there to follow him up. At least Valde will be traded out, but it is still a 1-man lead for OG.
It's a strong angle for NBK. Leo Drunky will certainly be at a disadvantage for peeking this one.
Wow.
Gets a kill anyway, of course, which makes it a 3-on-3. Does Mantu clear the apartment now? How deep does he go? Well, no one's in this area, but what of the rest of it? Is anyone lurking boiler? So many questions which would be very dangerous to try and find answers to. Alexi be unsure of where to go on the B bomb site, and Issa's quietly moving up. You can see where Issa is on the radar. If somebody was behind if somebody was behind the sandbags up banana and Issa ran, they would hear his rotation there, which is why he walks. You can walk up there or run around CT. Those are your options.
Flubbed smoke from TRK, trying to fake the A play. Mantu's pushing into the apartments as well. They seem so ready that this is going to be a B-sided play. OG apparently have done their homework, and as soon as they hear these 2 nades that are going to be stacked onto coffins, they'll realize this is almost certainly going to be a B-sided play. Alexi B still playing CT, but he's going to come back to the B site now. Second smoke arriving. Are they going to clear Issa, though? Oh, they molly him. They molly him off of that position. He has to go down. That's really nicely done from MIBR. They're going to get towards the bomb site. The bomb plant still isn't guaranteed, though. Alexi B could try and spam. They've got two players here in the same position, ready to try and deny this bomb plant. 10 seconds. Alexi gets it, and the time is so low. Surely MIBR can't win from here. They want the bomb, but they're not going to get it in time. There is no time remaining. It is OG 15-6 up on Inferno.
Yeah, they really took a while. I guess coffin plant was impossible with the smoke up. Any angle could have been posted up by OG. And here we are. Game point for OG. And many of them not dropped a single round, coming back with a vengeance like a VHS sequel, baby. MIBR with the 4 AK-47s. And the Galil for KNG, considering how instrumental he's been and he's fragging better than anybody, I mean, that is partly role, but still, he's got a Galil. C.R.A.E taking heavy damage, taking licks on Banana, and then finally finished off by Valde. Got a smoke up by the half wall. A failed attempt from MIBR, looking to respond quickly, however, towards the A-bomb site.
Leo leading the charge, as he often does. Won't be able to get the entry this time. Issa with a solid spray down onto those two players. And MBK is in a really nice position here. This off angle was so difficult to deal with. KNG's not ready. And Lucas is also going to follow his teammate to the grave. MBK closes it out. 16-6 for OG. A very decisive second map goes their way.
MIBR hammer-fisted into the floor by OG in the second map. It's all to play for in the third one. That comes very soon indeed. Don't go too far away. There's more carnage just around the corner.
Nice, man. At the sea customer slot.
OG fan the Flames of Inferno to push this series to the full distance. They wrap things up 16-6 and leave us knocking on the door of Dust 2. So where did OG make this resurgence after the first map here, Alan, and pulling off a flawless CT side?
I think on that T side, their defaults and the late execs were really, really clean. I think the MIBR players, maybe a few mistakes were played outside of KNG. OG capitalised on that, cleaned up the rounds, had a really strong tee up, probably even stronger than the scoreline shows, to be honest. CT side was all OG, and Valde, we spoke about him going into the series. He was an absolute monster in both halves here and allowed OG to shut it out on CT.
Yeah, what kind of impact did you see Valde having on this? Because I know you touted him before coming into this matchup as, you know, potentially one of the stars of Flashpoint 2.
I think the thing about Valde is, at all points in the round, he is so strong, such good decision-making, individual skills. He really has it always such a complete player, for a rifle at least. So Inferno is a map where he can have the great reads, the great rotates, you know, the great late rounds on T side, on CT side. He can, you know, play around as Bianca, play all the good angles. So we just saw everything from Valde even in this game, taking it to KNG, actually outfragging KNG. And look at this. This is really the Valde and KNG show in this series so far, isn't it? Yeah, you pointed something interesting out just before we were going into the second half of this Inferno map. KNG had already hit 50 frags, and he got maybe, what, 1 or 2 kills on that second half? Yeah, I think it was by round 12, he had 17 kills. And then, so obviously after that, we didn't see such great play from KNG. I'd say I wouldn't really look at him. I think the whole team really just kind of fell apart, to be honest, after those first few rounds. So I wouldn't blame it on KNG. I think he held him in the game at the start. So we didn't see the best of him in the second half, but hopefully on Dust 2 we can see a resurgence. Yeah, let's speak about that a little bit more. Some of the issues that we saw coming out of MIBR's side. Was there anything that you could pick up on there, Maui, that was really causing an issue for MIBR?
Well, I think OG just did an excellent job at having great information, especially on their CT side. I'll say the mid-rounding on the side of OG was really good. Every time they had any type of space on the map, they knew exactly just how to fall off of it. And that's what we expect from a leader like Alexi B. When he gets a tell, when he gets a piece of information, he's able to put his people in the right positions they need to be. And Valde, for example, was especially able to capitalize. It felt like every time he lurked up that arch side, he was total money in that position. So giving him that space to work with, you know Valde's just going to make the right idea play, and he's also going to hit the shot on top of that. Yeah, I think that's something interesting that you brought up, Alan, way back at the beginning of Flashpoint 2, is you wanted to see an improvement in those mid-round situations from OG. Has that sort of passed your expectations coming into the second map?
Yeah, I do. I think actually in every series we've seen, their mid-roundings look better and better and better. And on this T side of this game, they were super good. There's actually a few really strange rounds where they made the right call, but MIBR were playing like weird setups. They were leaning really hard on B on so many rounds, and they went into B expecting there to only be 1 or 2 players. There were more players there, so the calling was right from Alexi. He was making the right calls, the information he had. There was no doubt. MIBR perhaps misplayed some situations, but overall, Alexi looks really on form now calling, and he might even be in contention for being one of the best leaders in this tournament at this point.
Well, yeah, let's go into some specific rounds, because Mario, I know there was one you wanted to be kicking us off with. I believe it was round number 8.
Yeah, so this is going to be on the T side for OG, and it just shows how they've taken their prep work to another level. So as you can see right here, MIBR are basically doing a retake banana procedure, and what people are usually doing in this situation is they're going to go for a boost on the half wall, but OG have a different spin on it. They knew they couldn't bust out the boost in time, so they just actually are spamming the smoke with Valde there, and I think that's Alexi B, both there at that banana position, and they're just going to be shooting through the smoke, and they're able to find an entry like that, which is a slightly different approach, because a lot of teams will boost on that half wall where that red circle is, but if we play the clip now, we'll see that they are just able to find the kill through the smoke, and they just knew what MIBR was going to do before MIBR even really ran the whole play. So just very good stuff from them, and then perfect flash to get into the bomb site, and VSM almost actually makes this work for the side of MIBR, but OG, with the number advantage that they got from those opening picks, are able to just capitalize at that point. So really good stuff from OG, and you can see that they did their homework. They were very well versed on Inferno. Like I said earlier, it's one of the maps they were picking every single time they played for probably the first 6 months of this year. So they know what to do in a lot of different situations.
Yeah, definitely no surprises there that we see some success coming out from the side of OG. But I know you had the subsequent round to follow, Alan, that you wanted to pick up on. What exactly are we looking at here?
So over on Nuke, we saw a 4-spy round win because of KNG. On this round, this was pretty much a full eco round win. He pushed up second mid, he got himself into Banana, picked up this Mac 10, drops Alexi B, picks up the AK, and these 2 kills here are absolutely massive. And the crazy part at this point in the round, when it's actually 2 versus 1 here, is which player was it, Mario, that has actually lagged out at this? Was it Lucas that actually lagged out at this point? So it was actually a 1 versus 1. It might have looked like a 2 versus 1, but that was all KNG. He gets the final frag. Even though they lost the map, that round was really big from him, and that was what we can kind of expect from KiNK on a normal day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I want to go back to something that you were saying earlier, Maui. You were talking about this duo of Issa and MBK, so I'm wondering if you have any thoughts so far in this series of what we've seen from them together.
I'll say that on Nuke, they probably didn't do as well as I would have hoped. But Inferno, everybody on OG, once it got to that CT side, was lights out good. Everybody, the setups that they were running were perfect. I mean, the fact that MIBR got 0 rounds on their T side of Inferno, that just speaks for itself. So whether they went A towards Issa and MBK, or they went B towards Valde and Alexi B, every setup was working. Every single type of early round initiative was all working out. The info was great. The stacks were on point. Everything OG did. I mean, really, it's more than just them at this point. It's everyone performing at a very high level.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to see going into this third and final map that will be Dust 2. So I'm wondering your thoughts coming into this one. We've seen a bit of wavering consistency in terms of both of these teams here at Flashpoint 2 so far. They both won one of these games on this map, lost a game on this map as well. So what are your thoughts for the OG side of things coming into it?
I'll say this, for the OG side of things, right now it feels like their star performer is Valde, and Valde is doing incredibly well, but he's going to be kind of isolated towards long, and maybe they shut down that long position, but on the MIBR side, KiNK is the opper, and Dust 2 is a map that oppers can just absolutely dominate. So unless Valde is able to somehow even be more proactive at long A, or do just exceed expectations in retake situations, I feel like KiNK has the potential to actually take over this third map.
Yeah, let's touch on KiNK as well. I know, Alan, you've been absolutely loving what you've seen from him so far, maybe minus that second half of Inferno. But coming into Dust 2, I know that Potter was sort of talking about how instrumental his impact can be. And I believe you have a particular moment that you want to talk about for this one.
So hopefully we're going to have a series of highlights from KiNK when they played against Big in that group final. And in this game, KiNK was so good at calling round himself and going for entries. And in this game, 3 or 4 rounds, he clean entried the CT players. This is something you don't see from so many other teams, especially a team like OG. They'll run set plays all day long on T side. This is a very different kind of dynamic to T side. This is a very different kind of look that MIBR can present you that other teams won't, because they don't have an AWPer like KiNK that is confident in calling around himself. That's really the key thing here. KiNK is the in-game leader. He's saying, I'm going to go in, I'm going to go for these entry frags, follow me into the bomb site, and on these rounds he's completely opening up. If we look at some other players in this tournament, let's take A.Core for example. A criticism of A.Core is it doesn't feel to me like he's that confident at calling around himself. On T side, he kind of sits back. He lets, Hooksy make the mid-round calls. It's mainly players like Roy and Refresh. They're pushing in on the extremities. A-Core is very different to KiNK. KiNK is able to kind of take over the whole game. He says, I'm just going to go in and go for these frags. So it's just so exciting to see a player like KiNK calling around himself, maybe a bit kind of Fallen-esque if we're talking back in 2015-16. Just such an exciting dynamic to bring. And it's just a really big reason that I like watching this MIBR squad.
Well, we're going to be watching a lot more of them as we're going into our third and final deciding map. It will be Dust 2, and it will be Hawker and James to guide you through this one.